Oh boy, guys, we're finally here. We have the announcement trailer for the Elden Ring DLC, and I'm so fucking stoked. It's fucking crazy to me how it's been like over a year since this game initially came out, and I am just like so hungry for more content for it. And I know so many people have been waiting for this. But the fact that From Software has been curating this DLC for such a long time makes me just that much more excited to see how much work they put into it. I thought I would hop on really quick and react a little bit to this trailer for the first time because I haven't seen it yet. So without any further ado, guys, let's fucking watch this.
Pure and radiant, he wields love to shrive clean the hearts of men.
Yep, there he is in his cocoon.
There is nothing more terrifying.
Mohg's no longer around to do unspeakable things. Ah, what a beautiful shot of the lands between there. Okay, so there's all the graves that were in the promotional photo. And there's... Okay, so that is the Erdtree.
In that forsaken place, blood must spill. Blood of your fellows.
Who the fuck is that?
The Erdtree faithful.
What the hell is going on, dude?
They were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war.
Whoa. Oh god, that's fucking creepy. What the hell? Once again, more terrifying, like, cross-creature species.
Mother, wouldst thou truly lordship sanction in one so bereft of light?
Oh my god. Is that Godwin? But he has red hair though. It's gotta be Miquella, right?
I presume you, too, are keen to know
But no, Miquella has blonde hair too.
just what kind Miquella is doing here.
Whoa, what the... Is that like a hippo?
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Vesper's flame.
Come now,
Damn, bro.
touch the withered arm, and travel to the realm of shadow. I will not be far behind. May we meet again.
Damn, bro, this game looks so fucking badass, dude. It looks like a whole new game, honestly. Oh. Oh, there he is. Damn, man. That was fucking cool, dude. So we definitely had some sneak peeks of Miquella in here. I'm trying to figure out, like, is Miquella... Like, who was the guy with the red hair? Was that Godwin? Yeah, because he's definitely, like, more deformed. It looks like he's, like, a malnourished type of corpse that, like, kind of, like, came back or something. You know, like, it's... He looks... Definitely embodies the features that Godwin had. Like, kind of his stature, and he has, like... You know, the skin tones and whatnot that look very, very much like the Empyrean. But the red hair is throwing me off because Miquella and Godwin both have blonde hair. So I'm wondering if, like, because yeah, that's definitely not blonde. That's very much a redhead, which makes me wonder if it's like maybe a separate personality of Miquella. Because he and his sister came from that lineage, like, that had you know, the red hair gene. So I'm almost wondering, like, which one of them is this? Because it seems like it could be either one of them, but it seems a little bit more logical that this is Mikola. I'm actually a little bit confused on this. You have a bunch of different, like, new creatures and stuff. Like, I'm super excited to see. There's so much creativity in these games, and they, like, the creature design is so unique. But yeah, like, this, he's in a, like, this person is in a dress, and Mikola is, like, kind of that ambiguous, more feminine, like, masculine side of it. Like, the twins embody, like, the opposing genders in terms of their roles generally. So I'm thinking this is, maybe this is some kind of other, like, follower of him, because it might not be, although the combat style does remind me of Millennia a little bit, so it kind of seems like it might be him. And then we got, like, this creepy ass, like, fucking skeleton thing on a horse here. Got, like, this guy pulling whatever the fuck that is out of his, he looks like a branching piece of the Elden Ring, like the connecting points and whatnot, all the bones and stuff sticking out of this guy. God, this is so interesting, dude. Like, it just looks so fresh and new. We have the snake here too, so that's kind of a connecting point to Rykard and, like, that whole lineage. So I'm thinking that this is not, well, I guess they're all technically related, but this has to be Mikola, right? This can't be Godwyn, can it? I'm so confused. I'm so confused who's who, because the lore is so, there's so much crossover in, like, the family lineage and whatnot, and who's who. But see, the thing about it is the promotional material had this imagery of Mikola riding on the torrent, like, horse creature, and we see them once again at the end here. So this I believe has to be Mikola, and he has the braids and whatnot. So I'm thinking either Mikola turns into some kind of, like, alternate persona, and that alternate persona has the red hair, or we were looking at Godwyn reincarnated or, you know, brought back to life in some kind of way. Like, maybe he emerges from the Erdtree, since, well, yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense, because if you look at the tree here, this is obviously, like, Lanedale. This is obviously, like, where the capital is, and we see basically the burning remains of the tree. But there's, like, there's the gold leaking out of it, so you can see, like, this is where the great Erdtree was. But it's obviously being, like, choked and, like, overtaken by the Darkroot. It would be logical to me that Godwyn is being reincarnated out of the base of the roots of the tree, because that's where his body was basically buried, right? And there was the face underneath Stormveil. Basically, like, he was becoming one with the kind of the corrupted, the root system, like where all life used to go back into the earth, basically into the original tree. And that's why Mikola created the Halek tree. So I'm like very, very interested to see who these characters are exactly and how this plays out, because Mikola obviously has a connection to the tree as well, because he created his own to replicate kind of the previous era, but we also have, you know, our Empyrean that was murdered and became basically one with the old world and was connected to the Erdtree, and basically, like, his body couldn't die, but his soul died. So was the kindling of the Erdtree or the, you know, breaking of the Golden Order, did that cause something to emerge? If this is DLC, this makes me think that this is happening in the context of the game's story. So maybe something emerges as a result of a certain part of the timeline of the game, like perhaps when you actually burn the Erdtree, it'll create some kind of scenario where this reality can happen. I just have, like, so many more questions now. Like, it's very, very confusing, because this game's lore is not exactly, like, cut and dry, like, this leads to this leads to this. Like, there's multiple outcomes that can happen as the result of player action. And there's also like many different stories to explore within the context of the game. So obviously we're getting windows into different things happening. And obviously we have like a new major villain. I wonder who this is. This looks like somebody that was connected to the Golden Order, obviously. This person looks like, you know, some kind of connection to Renala, like, or just, you know, the world that she embodied. It looks like some kind of intelligence wizard type of character. I can't put my finger on who this could be, because they look masculine. I can't tell if they're male or female from this perspective, but this doesn't look like Renala, obviously, but it does look like some kind of connecting point to maybe Caria Manor? I have no idea. Like, who are these people? Like, is that Fia? That kind of looks like Fia a little bit, and whoever's here looks very sickly and close to death, if not already dead in some way, or like, you know, being sustained. So we got like what looks like a deathbed companion, so they're bringing that element into it, which also makes me wonder, is this Godwyn? Like, is this a representation of Godwyn after, because Fia's questline was all about like getting back to him, you know, she wanted to basically be a deathbed companion for him. Yeah, Lanedell looks all kinds of screwed up. So obviously the light of the Erdtree is no more, but we can see why that was, obviously. We got this cool like Dark Souls 3 aesthetic looking monster here. This is pretty badass. I don't know what it's related to. These things look like kind of like a hybrid of all of the like the worm faces, but like it definitely looks a little more otherworldly. Like maybe this is something that emerged from the depths or whatnot, because it looks kind of insectoid a little bit. It's got the weird like arms and stuff, and I have to wonder like, how is that connected to the lore? Like all of this stuff is kind of new, which makes me wonder how it fits into the larger world. It just adds more questions. Here we have what looks like some kind of abomination that rose up out of Morgoth. Like, cause the feet look like Morgoth's. Like, that looks like Morgoth's foot. Like, we see that shot specifically when he's walking down the stair. And then we have the horns coming out of him, which also is that mutation that he was born with. We have, like, the golden hair coming out. Like, it looks like a hybrid version of him and, like, the Elden Lord and whatnot, but in some kind of, like, lion-esque form, and he's got a mouth inside of another mouth. That's, like, freaking creepy, dude. This also looks like it's taking place in the capital, so I have to wonder if this has to be an extension of what we already saw in the base game, because I just don't see how these things can fit into the storyline of the game, especially if there's all these connecting points that have to happen after the Erdtree exists in its current state in the game until the end of the game. And yeah, here we see the snake again. Like, there's obviously a connection to that family lineage on that side of the family, and the red hair just, like, it makes me wonder, like, who is this person? Because they embody certain elements of, like, one side of the family lineage, but I have way more questions than I had before. And obviously that was going to be the case because these games' lore are so elaborate. Then we had this freaking hippo thing coming out of the water here. Like, it's like a hippo mixed with a crocodile or something. It's like, or a bear or some crazy shenanigans going on here, dude. I'm so excited, dude. This is really fucking cool. Yeah, dude. We finally got this DLC announcement though, and we finally have like a tangible time frame for this. So this is exciting, guys. Leave a comment down below on what your thoughts on what these elements represent and what you think is going on in the timeline here, and like where in the structure of the game's timeline it's happening, because I honestly don't know. Like, this all seems like it has to take place after the storyline of the base game, but it could be some kind of branching timeline that they incorporate into the game, since it is a DLC. It is an addition to the game, so I kind of would assume that it happens after the base game, though. And like, what is Miquella's role in in the story here? Like, is he an antagonist, or is he someone that you're working with to kind of move the story forward in a way where he's bringing like a new order or a new life to the world? Because that was very much what his character embodied, was this idea of rejecting what was already there and moving into a world that he creates. And of course he was ripped away from that because his creepy uncle took him away. Obviously, like, this guy is at the core of the conflict, and I don't think it's Mikkel. I honestly don't know. I'm very confused, very intrigued, very excited. This is going to be one for the storybooks, my friends. Elden Ring already has this epic sweeping narrative with so many different elements that take forever to figure out and honestly are a little bit paradoxical in a way. So I'm just interested how these pieces of the puzzle make the entire puzzle make more sense. And there's going to be people speculating and coming up with lore videos galore. I'm just super fucking stoked. So yeah, leave a comment, like the video if you liked what I had to say here, and sub for future gaming content. And yeah, guys, it's gonna be crazy. I'm so stoked.